Hello everyone, my name is Rohan Menon and today I'm going to talk about an important math topic called as drawing to scale. So what exactly do we understand by the term drawing to scale? It the definition is to reduce the real life measurements of an object to a measurement which can be used to draw that particular object on a sheet of paper. Now sounds slightly complex, but I'll tell you it's very easy. Now I'll give you a small example. Imagine that you are running a restaurant, or for example, you are a manager at a long-term care center, and you want to replace your any of your kitchen equipment. Can be a stove, it can be a fridge, can also be a microwave, and you plan on fitting that particular kitchen equipment into your new kitchen. So you need do you what do you need exactly? You need the real life measurements. So once you have that, you can have the area measured and have the kitchen equipment installed. But you can't use those measurements to draw that particular object on a sheet of paper because it makes it complicated, and you might even run out of paper by by drawing it. So what drawing to scale does is it reduces the actual real life measurement of an object to a specified scale. So this makes it easier for us to use a scale and draw that object on a piece of paper. It's as simple. We just need two components: real life measurements of that object and the scale. Now the scale is written in the form of a ratio. Okay, so it's easier for us to talk about it. So now, as an example, the last line of the text box is, if 1 inch on the drawing represents 10 feet in real life, the scale is 1 inch to 10 feet. Now it sounds a little confusing, hence I have provided an image on the left so that it can register easily. So on our left we have an image of a horse. We have two images of a horse, to be precise. The black and white image is the measurement of a horse which is used to be drawn on a piece of paper. So on the right hand side we have the real life measurement of a horse that is used to draw on a piece of paper, that can't be drawn on a piece of paper, sorry. So the ratio would be 5 inches to 5 feet. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, it's as simple as that. So just a small recap of the first slide. Drawing to scale is reducing the real life measurements of an object to a specified scale so that it's easier for us to draw on a piece of paper. Now in the second slide we have ourselves an equation. Basically it's a real life measurement of a stove, and we will try and break it down and find the measurement using a scale so that we can draw it on a piece of paper, and that will be shown to you at the end of the assignment as well. So we move on to the next slide. We have with us the equation, which is the measurements of a stove: 4 feet 3 inches into 2 feet 6 inches, and the second bulleted point highlights 1 by 2 by 1 feet. 1 by 2 is to draw and 1 feet is to convert. Remember that, as we will be using it to solve the equations in the coming slides. Now to make things simpler, I've broken down the question into two parts. The first part is 4 feet 3 inches and the second part is 2 feet 6 inches. So first of all, in the third slide, we will be breaking down 4 feet 3 inches. Okay, so we have our first part of the equation, which is 4 feet 3 inches. As you can see on the right hand side, I've copied the scale back so that it's a point of reference for us. Now we have two steps that I have mentioned, which are used to convert the equation. the part of the equation. So the first point is to convert to unit. Now when you look at the question that we have, 4 feet 3 inches, and if you take the first part, which is 4 feet, do we need to really convert that into a unit? Because our unit is 1 feet and we already have 4 feet, which means the job is already done. There is no need for us to convert it into a unit. What we need to do now is to multiply it by the scale to be drawn, which is 1 by 2, as you can see in the image on the right. Now, once we do that, it is 4 feet into 1 upon 2, give you 2 inches. Highlight the answer, and because we will be using that later on. Then comes the second part of the question, which is 3 inches. Now we have to convert the 3 inches into feet. So 3 inches into 1 feet upon 12 inches. Why exactly do we use 1 feet upon 12 inches? Because 1 feet actually does represent 12 inches. So we multiply 3 by 1 and we get 3 upon 12. When we reduce it further using division, we get 1 upon 4 feet. We are not done yet. We have to multiply the feet with the scale to draw, which is 1 by 2. 1 by 4 into 1 by 2 gives you 1 by 8 inches. 2 inches, which has been highlighted, and the new number, which is 1 by 8 inches, is our reduced measurement to draw. Once we combine both, we get 2 1 by 8. So that's the answer to our first question. Now we move on to the second part, which is 2 feet 6 inches. Once again, I've copied the scale and the steps on the right. 2 feet has already been converted, so there's no need for you to use that step anymore. Multiply it with the scale to draw, which is 1 by 2, gives you 2 upon 2, which is 1 inch. 6 inches is the second part of the problem. We convert that into feet using the same formula that we used on the previous slide. 6 inches into 1, 6 upon 12, use division, comes down to 1 upon 2. Now 6 2s are 12. That's the reason why. Then multiply the new number by the scale to draw, which is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. 1 1s are 1, 2 2s are 2, gives you 2 2s are 4, gives you 1 upon 4. Combine both the findings and you get 1 upon 4. So that was our final answer. We have broken down the real life measurements, and in order for us to draw it on a scale through a scale on a piece of paper, these are the measurements that we are going to use, which is 2 1 upon 8 and 1 1 upon 4. In the next slide, I will show you a visual representation of how it is drawn on a piece of paper. So in the presentation now, we have a zoomed in picture of a scale representing the inches side, and this is the scale that we would be using to draw the measurements on a piece of paper. If we move on to the next slide, we will be drawing 2 1 by 8. So now first thing that we need to do is to draw a straight line from 0 all the way till 2, which represents 2 inches, as seen in the image right now. And then in order to show 1 by 8, we then drag the line to 2 more lines, which gives us 1 upon 8. Now the reason why we do that is every 2 lines constitute an 8. So the 2 lines after 2 is 1 upon 8. Hence 2 1 upon 8. Now we draw 1 1 upon 4. The same step we repeat, which is 0 to 1, which is 1 inch. Then we drag it to 4 lines, which is 1 1 upon 4. 1 1 upon 8 in the previous slide were 2 lines. 1 1 upon 4 is 4 lines. So that's how you draw a stove on a piece of paper. These are the actual measurements that I've used to depict the drawing of a stove. So we have the 4 feet 3 inches below, 2 feet 6 inches represented vertically, and I mentioned the scale once again. So this was a conversion of a real life measurement of an object to to a scale which can be used to draw on a sheet of paper. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you understood the term quite simple in a much simpler way. Thank you so much.